Ella, good evening, everybody. Guten Abend, alle zusammen. Ich werde die Moderation auf Englisch machen, wenn das okay ist, weil auch unser Vortragende wird auf Englisch präsentieren. So, welcome, everybody, to our public lecture series of Ethics of the Digital Transformation. Today we have with us Mr. Mojalefa Koloko. And he's going to talk to us about a techno-ethical review of South Africa's policy on commercial and surveillance drones. He has been engaged, now he's a doctoral research fellow at our institute at the Graduate School of Ethics. Previously, he has been engaged as a doctoral research fellow at the University of Cape Town. He has training in the fields of philosophy, political science, and international relations. He has also vast experience in working with different government, international organizations, and civil society organizations, means a lot of background also in practice, not only in academia. Yeah. For example, he has been working with the European Union delegation to the Kingdom of Lesotho, New Hope, Southern Africa, Independent Electoral Commission of Lesotho, also the UN Human Rights Commission, the US Embassy, the Embassy of Somalia, and also the Institute of Security Studies in Brooklyn and Addis Ababa. He has a master's degree in international relations and a BA in political and international studies, and also philosophy. So you have really, really a broad background, I see.
Yeah.
And yes, welcome here at the University of Lucerne. Yeah. And we're going to structure the evening that we first have a presentation. So he's going to present for about 40 to 45 minutes. I mean, you don't have to fill all the time if you're done early. It's always good to have the break a bit earlier as well. Then we're going to have the break, and after that we're going to have an open discussions where you can direct your questions and comments towards Mr. Koloko. So let's start. The word is yours.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Evelyn, for that lovely introduction. As she has said already, I'm Mojalefa Koloko, and I come all the way from South Africa. I've worked in different institutions, as she has already highlighted, and I'm super excited to be here. It's my first time in Lucerne, actually, in Switzerland in general, and Europe in general as well. So that's very interesting for me. It differs slightly according to countries and companies that produce these things. So I'm going to talk about what a drone is not, So the basic understanding is that a drone is an unmanned vehicle that flies around and can be driven around for surveillance, for commercial purposes, and so on. Some people have called it a flying robot, but I decided to just bring in these two interesting pictures just to show you that we shouldn't have confusion with deals with transportation. As I will show you. So this is a typical example of how it works like in transportation. So there's a drone there, it's carrying a payload that is being transported using that GPS, which has surgical precision, which means it can go to the exact location that you need it to go to. You just put in the GPS coordinates, you plug them into the machinery, and then it drives to wherever you want it to go. So that is how it works. So that is what Amazon, which is Jeff Bezos' company, was trying to do with this. Like, we can deliver this to anybody efficiently. These are very quick. If, let's say, you want to send it from here to somebody on the other end of town, like roughly within 15 minutes it gets there. They just send you their location, and then it's done. So this is how it works like. Food security is one of the biggest issues that we have, not only in Europe, but across the world. In Africa, it's even worse. So they are saying that in order to make sure that we maximize the turnover, the output of production within the agricultural sector, we can use drones. Elon Musk has got his company, which is called Neuralink, whereby they are essentially researching on the use of chips that can be implanted into somebody's head. So these drones can be coordinated with that technology. How human beings will be implanted with that software, so that you are directly linked you are connected with the drone, with an AI, and then at the same time you are connected with the humanoid. The reason why people like Elon Musk are doing that is because he's saying the advance of technology has progressed so much that we need to counter it. That there's been computers that are faster than human beings, and they can essentially take over. When you look at projects like the one that Mark Zuckerberg is working on with the Aquila drone, climate change. Climate change, I think, is the biggest challenge that we have around the world, as it's been discussed thoroughly in different disciplines, and everybody is probably aware of that. But more interestingly, Europe as a continent is the fastest warming up continent in the world as we speak right now. We've had 10 people will be allowed to operate these drones. Let's talk about that field. Of course, the RGB sensors will not be able to remedy any problem, some of the problems. It will just be able to inspect them. So let's say there's a disease within the soil that can hamper the output of the production. There will be a scientist hired to go and take care of that. Yeah? That scientist will do basic soil sampling and come up with proposals. Maybe there needs to be chlorophyll added there. I don't know the terms, but I'm just making an example. So that's how it will go. So that means in every sector, certain people will be hired, and this will be professionals, people that are highly competent, people that have got skills will be hired. What will happen to the rest of everybody? They will be relegated into unemployment. Let's talk about security as a sector as well.
Thank you very much for your interesting lecture, Mr. Koloko. I owned a DJI drone a few years back, and I noticed that all the data, like the flight routes, the speed, the location, and also the footage I took, so pictures and videos, they were all being uploaded into my online portal, or where I registered my drone. So that means they own all the data, or they can see all the data of all their drone pilots worldwide. What kind of ethical implications do you think do we have there? What topics are revolving around that issue, very sensitive data that is going to private companies? Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Benjamin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Benjamin.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you. So, hello, my name is Xenia, and I'm a student of Master of Ethics, just like I think everybody around here, maybe. Yes. So first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. In fact, I didn't know enough about drones before, I realized. Recently we hear about drones in the context of war sometimes, and I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about that, what you know when drones are used for. I know they're sometimes used for finding possible victims, civilians, for defense, but I'm sure they're also used in a not so noble way. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sasha.